And we can now go live to Hu Naijun, an associate professor with the School of Public Policy and Management at the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Good to have you with us, Professor. Now, China plans to inoculate up to 80% of its population against COVID-19 by the year 2020, and that is about 1 billion people. How does the country go about beefing up public willingness for a dose?
Well, I think there are several ways to achieve that kind of we call accomplishment. Yes, as you have mentioned, to nearly 1 billion people injected or vaccinated. This is, in my opinion, is a very historical behavior and achievement. However, through the government's call upon the people, I think Chinese people had a long history of collectivism behaviors pattern in which people will reply positively to any call off of our party and the government. So I think through the call-up of the government and the party, I think the majority of the people will react very quickly. Secondly, I think we're all very eager to be back to normal. Although I think this kind of normal is that not 100% as it was before the pandemic, but I think we are eager to be very close to that of condition. So if we want to be back to normal, as to other countries, they have the kind of mass immunity and mass antibody production through a kind of higher rate of infection. But in China, we do not want to have that. We want to have a mass vaccination to incur antibody. So I think if we want to be back to normal, we have to have a mass vaccination. So I think through this kind of call-up and the expectation of being back to normal, the majority of Chinese people will answer to the call of the government and will respond to this project very positively.
Now, Professor, about that getting back to normal in a post-pandemic world, you're talking about some countries, including China, have now vaccine passports in works, which will primarily work as apps where people can upload their proof of vaccination and COVID-19 test results, so on and so forth. How helpful will this be in reopening international travel, do you think?
Well, I think it is the only way, in my opinion, to be back to the kind of international traveling. As we all know that the kind of virus, COVID-19, will not die out completely or automatically. It will be long coexistence. It will be a long-term coexistence with human beings. So if we want to get to the international traveling as it was before, I think there must be some kind of measures such as you have mentioned, the vaccination passport. However, in this vaccination passport, there must be international cooperation between different countries. As we all know that the vaccine, there is more than one kind of vaccine. There are several kinds of vaccines and from several countries. So I think there must be some kind of co-recognition of the vaccines. A vaccine which is popular in a certain a specific country will not be popular in another country. But if there is a kind of cooperation between these two countries, there might be some co-recognition. So I think if we have an international vaccination passport, there must be a mass international cooperation between different countries. One country alone cannot produce this kind of vaccination passport all by itself.
Well said. Thank you very much. We'll see how it goes. Professor Hu Naijun joining us live via Skype. Appreciate it.